Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's Market Daily Dossier, we are going to quickly digest today's market summary, stocks and sectors performances, key business news specific to stocks and outlook for 4th December, that is Monday. Market summary. The Indian equity indices started the December and new series on a strong note with the Nifty 50 index soaring to a fresh all-time high on December 1 as the investors cheered the higher than expected GDP data and buying across the sectors barring auto. At close, the Sensex was up 492 points or 0.74% reaching at 67,481 and the Nifty was up 134 points or 0.67% closing at 2,267. The benchmark indices extended the winning run on the fourth consecutive session as they opened on a strong note, with Nifty crossing its previous high of 2,222 touched on September 15, 2023. For the week, BSE Sensex and Nifty 50 indices added 2% each. Stocks and sectors performances. The biggest gainers on the Nifty included NTPC, L&T, Britannia Industries and Axis Bank, while losers were Hero MotoCorp, HDFC Life, Wipro, M&M and SBI Life Insurance. Except auto, all other sectoral indices ended in the green with capital goods, FMCG, metal, power and realty up 1 to 1.5% each. BSE Mid-Cap Index added 1%, while Small Cap Index was up 0.5%. A long build-up was seen in PFC, REC and Dixon Technologies, while a short build-up was seen in Ashok Leyland, Tata Communications and Multi-Commodity Exchange of India. Power Finance, Tanfac Industries, Dixon Technologies, Shalimar Paints, Amara Raja, Datamatics Global, REC, Oriental Hotels, Aster DM Health, Arvind Smart, Prism Johnson, Poly Medicure, Macrotech Developers, Rolex Rings, NHPC, Moil, Perla Corp and HBL Power among the stock that touched their 52-week high on the BSE. Company-specific news. 1. Economy. India's GDP, or the total value of goods and services produced in the country, grew by 7.6% in the second quarter of the year. This is slightly less than the 7.8% growth it had in the first quarter of the year. This means that the economy grew at a slower rate from one quarter to another. 2. Pharmaceutical and healthcare. Lupin Limited has launched a new product called Turquoise. It is a tablet that contains two hormones, norgestrel and ethinyl estradiol. The United States Food and Drug Administration, a government agency that regulates drugs, has given its approval for this product. Zydus Life Sciences has received the final approval from the United States Food and Drug Administration, a government agency that regulates drugs for Everbradine tablets. It is a tablet that helps treat a heart condition called angina. Biocon has announced that CRISIL Ratings, a company that provides credit ratings, has reaffirmed the long-term and short-term bank loan facilities of Rs 250 crore at CRISIL R+ stable and CRISIL A1+ respectively. This means that CRISIL Ratings has confirmed that the bank loans of Rs 250 crore taken by Biocon have a high degree of safety and a low risk of default, and that the ratings are unlikely to change in the near future. Biocon has further announced that the integration of the Viatris biosimilars business in 31 European countries has been successfully completed. A subsidiary is a company that is owned by another company. A biosimilar is a drug that is similar to another drug that has already been approved. Viatris is a pharmaceutical company that has a biosimilars business in Europe. The integration means that Biocon Biologics and Viatris have combined their biosimilars businesses in Europe. 3. Automobiles. Atal Auto, a company that makes three-wheeled vehicles, sold 270 units in November 2023. This is slightly more than the 253 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a small amount from one year to another. SML Isuzu, a company that makes commercial vehicles, sold 647 units in November 2023. This is less than the 729 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales decreased by a small amount from one year to another. TVS Motor Company, a company that makes two-wheeled and three-wheeled vehicles, sold 364,231 units in November 2023. This is much more than the 277,123 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a large amount or 31% from one year to another. Ashok Leyland, a company that makes commercial vehicles, sold 1453 units in November 2023. This is less than the 14,561 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales decreased by a small amount or 3% from one year to another. Maruti Suzuki, a company that makes cars, sold 164,439 units in November 2023. This is more than the 159,044 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a small amount from one year to another. Eicher Motor, a company that makes commercial vehicles, sold 5,194 units of BEC, a brand of trucks and buses, in November 2023. This is more than the 4,903 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a moderate amount or 5.9% from one year to another. Tata Motors, a company that makes cars and commercial vehicles, sold 74,172 vehicles in India and other countries in November 2023. This is slightly less than the 75,478 vehicles it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales decreased by a small amount from one year to another. Mahindra & Mahindra, a company that makes cars and tractors, sold 3,274 tractors in India and other countries in November 2023. This is more than the 3,528 tractors it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a small amount from one year to another. Mahindra & Mahindra also sold 7,576 vehicles, including cars and tractors, in India and other countries in November 2023. This is more than the 58,224 vehicles it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a large amount or 21% from one year to another. Mahindra & Mahindra has a subsidiary called Mahindra Sustain, a company that provides renewable energy solutions. Mahindra Sustain has incorporated two new companies in Mumbai, a city in India. The new companies are called Kairos Hybrid and Jade Hybrid. They will provide services related to hybrid energy systems. Bajaj Auto, a company that makes two-wheeled and three-wheeled vehicles, sold 433 units in November 2023. This is much more than the 306,719 units it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a large amount or 31% from one year to another. Escorts Kubota, a company that makes tractors, sold 8,258 tractors in November 2023. This is more than the 7,960 tractors it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a small amount or 3.7% from one year to another. Escorts Kubota's construction equipment division has sold 486 machines in November 2023. This is more than the 402 machines it sold in November 2022. This means that its sales increased by a moderate amount or 20.9% from one year to another. 4. Banking, finance, insurance and capital market. REC, a company that provides loans for power projects, has given out loans worth Rupee 1,000 crore in 1 year. This is more than double the amount of loans it gave out in the first 8 months of the previous year, which was Rupee 4675 crore. The Federal Bank, a bank that provides various financial services, has announced a collaboration with NCDEX eMarkets, a company that provides online trading platforms for agricultural products. This collaboration will help the bank improve its system of buying and selling goods and services online through auctions. Power Finance Corporation, a company that provides loans for power projects, has a subsidiary called PFC Consulting, a company that provides consultancy services for power projects. PFC Consulting has likely incorporated a new company called Parade Transmission, a company that will develop new power transmission projects. These projects will help transfer electricity from one place to another. CSB Bank, a bank that provides various financial services, has announced that the Reserve Bank of India, the central bank of the country, has approved a change in the schedule of reducing the shareholdings of Mauritius Investments, the promoter of the bank. The promoter is the person or entity that owns the largest share of the bank. The change in the schedule will allow the promoter to reduce its shareholdings gradually over time. Refer Finance, a company that provides financial services, has announced that it has raised JPY 75 billion ust 50 million from Mizuho Bank, a bank that is based in Japan, through external commercial borrowing route. This means that Refer Finance has borrowed money from Mizuho Bank in a foreign currency, which is Japanese yen, through a route that allows Indian companies to borrow money from foreign lenders. 5. It and its Wipro, a company that provides software and other services, has incorporated a new subsidiary in Saudi Arabia, a country in the Middle East. A subsidiary is a company that is owned by another company. The new subsidiary will explore new business opportunities for providing software consulting services and related activities in Saudi Arabia. Wipro has announced that it is working with Amazon Web Services, a company that provides cloud computing services, to redefine the future of lab processes in the life sciences industry. The life sciences industry is the industry that deals with living organisms and their applications. The collaboration will help Wipro and Amazon Web Services improve the efficiency and quality of lab processes using cloud computing services. Infosys, a company that provides software and other services, has announced its collaboration with Shell New Energies UK, a company that is part of an international energy company called Shell. Shell New Energies UK focuses on low-carbon energy sources. The collaboration will help Infosys and Shell New Energies UK adopt immersion cooling services for data centers. Immersion cooling is a technique that uses liquid to cool down the computers and servers in data centers. Ultimaintree, a company that provides software and other services, has announced that it has been selected as a strategic partner by Metasphere, a company that specializes in wastewater applications, to scale their smart sewers management platform. The platform helps monitor and manage the sewer network using sensors and software. The partnership will help Ultimaintree and Metasphere expand and improve the platform. 6. Mining, metals and cements. Vedanta, a company that produces metals and minerals, has a subsidiary called Talwandi Sabo Power, a company that operates a power plant. The tax authorities, the government officials who collect taxes, have reduced the tax demand they had raised on Talwandi Sabo Power. The tax demand is the amount of money that the company has to pay as tax. The tax demand has been reduced from Rupee 175 million to Rupee 363 million. Moil, a company that produces manganese ore, has announced that the basic price of MD, a type of manganese ore, has been decreased for the month of December 2023. The new price is Rs 225,000 per metric ton, which is less than the previous price of Rs 209,000 per metric ton. Moil has also announced that the prices of all ferro grades, SMJOR, fines and chemical grades, which are different types of manganese ore, have been decreased by 5%. This means that the new prices are 5% less than the previous prices. Eddy Cementation, a company that provides construction services, has announced that it has secured a contract for civil and hydromechanical works of 500 MW hydel power pump storage project in Andhra Pradesh. The contract is worth approximately Rs 1 crore excluding GST. The project involves building a hydropower plant that can store and generate electricity using water. Kesharam Industries, a company that makes cement and tires, and Ultratech Cement, a company that makes cement, have announced that the board of directors of Kesharam Industries has approved a composite scheme of arrangement amongst the company and Ultratech Cement and their respective shareholders and creditors. The scheme involves splitting the cement division of Kesharam Industries and merging it with Ultratech Cement, and reducing and cancelling the preference share capital of Kesharam Industries. The preference share capital is the part of the share capital that gives preference to some shareholders over others in terms of dividends and voting rights. 7. Infrastructure. Power Grid Corporation of India, a company that operates power transmission networks, has been declared as the successful bidder for two new power transmission projects. The projects will help transfer electricity from one state to another in India. The projects will be established under a system called tariff-based competitive bidding, where the bidder who offers the lowest tariff or price gets the project. The projects will be owned and operated by Power Grid Corporation of India for a certain period of time under a system called Build, Own, Operate and Transfer or BOOT. Larsen & Toubro, a company that provides engineering and construction services, has incorporated a new subsidiary called L&T Semiconductor Technologies. A subsidiary is a company that is owned by another company. The new subsidiary is a wholly owned subsidiary of Larsen & Toubro, which means that it is fully owned by Larsen & Toubro. The new subsidiary will provide services related to semiconductor technologies, which are used to make electronic devices and circuits. 8. Manufacturing and consumer. Whirlpool Corporation, a company that makes home appliances, has announced its intention to sell up to 24% of its ownership interest in Whirlpool of India, a company that makes home appliances in India, in 2024. The sale will be done through one or more transactions, which means that the sale may happen in parts or in one go. Dixon Technologies, a company that provides electronic manufacturing services, has announced that its wholly owned subsidiary, Paget Electronics, a company that makes electronic products, has inaugurated a new state-of-the-art smartphone manufacturing plant in the Noida district, Uttar Pradesh. A wholly owned subsidiary is a company that is fully owned by another company. A state-of-the-art plant is a plant that has the latest technology and equipment. Marico, a company that makes consumer products, has announced that it has increased its stake in Satya Nutraceuticals, a company that makes health supplements, to 51.2% from 32.75%. This means that Marico now owns more than half of Satya Nutraceuticals. Jubilant Foodworks, a company that operates food outlets, has announced that its wholly owned subsidiary Jubilant Foodworks Netherlands, a company that is based in the Netherlands, has increased its stake in DP Eurasia, a company that operates food outlets in Turkey and Russia, to 53.52%. This means that Jubilant Foodworks Netherlands now owns more than half of DP Eurasia. Hindustan Aeronautics, a company that makes aircraft and helicopters, has announced that the Defense Acquisition Council, a body that approves defense purchases, has accorded acceptance of necessity for procurement of light combat helicopter and light combat aircraft for Indian Air Force and Indian Army from Hindustan Aeronautics under Buy Indian item category. This means that the Defense Acquisition Council has agreed to buy these helicopters and aircraft from Hindustan Aeronautics under a category that gives preference to Indian products that are designed and developed in India. Himadri Specialty Chemical, a company that makes chemicals, has announced that it has completed the acquisition of 100% equity shares of Himadri Clean Energy, a company that provides renewable energy solutions. This means that Himadri Specialty Chemical now owns all the shares of Himadri Clean Energy. 9. Others. The Kolkata High Court, a court that deals with legal matters in Kolkata, has granted interim protection to Delta Corp, a company that operates casinos and hotels. This means that the court has temporarily stopped the action taken by the Director General of GST Intelligence, Kolkata, a government official who investigates tax evasion. The official had issued a notice to Delta Corp asking it to pay Rs 60 billion as tax. Outlook for 4th December, Monday. In light of renewed optimism from FIIs and positive signals from the European market, the Nifty reached a new all-time high. India stands out in the global economy amid uncertainties, supported by robust GDP and manufacturing figures, as well as external factors such as declining US bond yields. The rotational buying in key sectors is propelling the index towards the 2500 mark in Nifty. The recommendation is to maintain a buy on dip strategy, emphasizing stock selection, considering both domestic and global factors, particularly the performance of the US markets.